G'day, Stevo Djanda here. How are you? Welcome to all my new followers that have joined me on my Facebook page. Did a few posts regarding KTM situation with the amount of debt that they were in and creditors and suppliers that they owed money to, and I said now's not a good time to buy a new KTM. But then at the end of the post, I also put that I will be buying a new KTM regardless. And I still mean that, especially now that Bajaj has pulled them out of the ship with a massive insert of cash or a loan to get them through the hardship, and they'll be taking over the majority of the company from here on end as well. And they're a massive manufacturer. They've been producing their smaller bikes, KTM. As far as I know, they've been producing 60% of their market of the bikes have been produced by Bajaj, so that's a fairly big amount already. So exciting news. I'm really excited about that news, and that's really good. That post I did blew up and went viral and had the most comments I've ever had. It was shared 300 times. It was just like went really off the planet. I was like, whoa. But what it was I touched a nerve with people, like being a guy that's been riding 1290 and the 890 for the last 4 years, 3 or 4 years through remote places throughout Australia, and that's all I've been posting is just my rides on those two bikes. Occasionally on the Ducati Scrambler that I purchased a year ago, but most of it's been purely those bikes. So it really touched a nerve with many for me to just say that, but it was purely to get a conversation started because I have become part of the KTM story, sharing my adventures on their social media platforms, and also applying to become part of their Blood Orange board. There's 5,000 of us that have received an email that are that could be considered to be flown over to Austria and help them, start to rebuild the company back again. And move forward, asking, the guys that actually ride like myself, the direction that, they feel they should be going. And, part of that post I did, it just goes to show there's a lot of solid passion out there for KTM because they are great bikes, even for myself where I am at this particular part of my life, adventure riding. The two bikes that I've currently got are, I don't think there's a bike that matches them on the market that comes close to them for what they offer. And that's the reason I can get pretty much any bike that I wanted to, but those two that I've currently got are the best on the market, and they've been reliable and they've been a thrilling and great bike to ride, and that's why I've shared my journeys with those bikes because that's just me being raw, real, and honest about them. They've been a good bike. You're going to get on social media and tell people the bike's great if it's not. If there's a problem with it, certainly most people nowadays will let everyone know. I had a guy, I think it was one or two guys out of the post that I did regarding KTM that had cam issues, and they had issues with getting them repaired. And I'm sorry to hear that, guys, because for me, I've had a couple tiny little things with my KTM 1290 and 890, but because I've got a good dealership that I deal with, they get fixed immediately, and that's another part of the reason that I've been happy with the KTM motorcycle that I own, because the dealer that I'm using has been exceptionally fast in everything, from delivery of the bike to if there is a little thing that that's not right, they replace it or repair it immediately, no questions asked, and that's unheard of with other manufacturers' bikes that I've ridden over the years. I haven't had the same service as what I've had with KTM. I just thought I'd mention that on this short video because that's a big part of why I'm happy to step up and whether this blood orange blood thing happens or not, I'll still be out there riding, doing what I love doing. But if the opportunity is there, I would love to be able to take it on, because I am available to fly there, and I am enjoying doing those social media videos and posts, and I'm about to take off, start riding around the world later on this year, and that's something I'll be doing for the rest of my life. And I have actually written a few letters to KTM directly, wanting to um, pick up a bike from their Austrian factory and ride it back to Mandurah. I haven't heard that from them. Obviously, that part of their business hasn't been a priority with all this upheaval with the money that they've had to find for refinancing. I understand that, but I have received an email regarding the board, the Orange Blood board members that they're trying to create. They'll be picking 15 of us that we'll hear about in June. So yeah, I'm excited that they've got funding, and I'm excited to hear that they should be able to move forward from here. They're going to have to change some things, obviously, but I think the biggest thing that happened was that they overproduced the market that was falling, and they got caught out. And it's disappointing that many of the workers or suppliers end up not getting paid back in full. But I would like to suggest that they should be trying to at least, reimburse those. If those suppliers are going to still be supplying parts, I'm pretty sure they would have been a registered fair few of them. I know I read one article that Gear Mobility AG only took over a foundry that was running for 70 years in September, and then that foundry was, went under in December 2024 after 70 years of running successfully. That's another horrible story. So no doubt there'll be a few horror stories that come out of businesses that didn't make it through, that being one of them that I've just read recently. So if I was part of the Orange Blood board, I would be suggesting that they make an effort of something like, instead of charging this tech pack and what have you, make that included on the bikes, but have a supplier's back that's introduced or incorporated in the price of the bike, whether it's separately or not. But some of these workers can, not just be forgotten about with 70% of what's owed to them. I think it's important that they still get paid in full. That's part of what I believe, regardless of the brand moving forward or not. If they can recoup some of those losses, maybe some of them are structured to be able to wear it, but I'm pretty sure many of them, like the foundry, they just folded. Why that happened, why it only just took full control of it literally weeks before it actually folded. Just got me baffled. So that's a good word to use, isn't it? Baffled. But anyway, I've accepted the fact that this is what happens in the corporate world and big companies. It's not the first time it's happened in the motorcycle industry or other industries. It's just the fact that big corporate companies can write off massive amounts of debt, and then someone else takes over. And it happens with builders here in my home state or in my country in Australia. You see it all the time. Builders will take on a shitload of work and heaps of deposits from innocent homeowners only to fold days later, and thousands of people left with homes half built until they find another builder to take over, and that builder walks away, they have debt wiped off, and then they start another company in someone else's name, and they're somewhere in the background running that. So it's unfortunately it's something that happens in life. I don't like it, but I do like KTM as a motorcycle and the massive amount of adventure and experiences it's given me. And if I can be a part of helping them become a better company set up, I'd be proud to be. Even if I'm not, I'd be happy to be still sharing my adventures. I've done all that just purely because it's my passion. I don't get any payments from them or any discounts or anything. The fact that I get good service from my dealership, the bikes are freaking awesome. I'm just happy to be sharing my epic journeys on them, and just what I've done on it has blown my mind. It's exceeded my expectations of where I've taken the KTM 1290. Even last year's trip all the way to Cape York was absolutely mind blowing. Yes, I know how to ride, but a big bike like that, it's like, whoa, I can't believe where I've taken this thing. It's just been absolutely awesome, and that's why I love it. It's just a big, amazing, powerful bike that has actually taken me through some really, really remote places throughout Australia. And I'll be doing it again shortly. Before I head back overseas later on this year to start my around the world trip, I'll be doing one more outback adventure here. Won't be my last one, but I'll be just be sneaking one in because we've got some shit weather coming shortly, and I'm not hanging around for that. Even the next few days, I'm going to be out in the 1290 and the 890 making the most of it because then we've got winter's coming, baby, and for me, that's not the sort of weather I like to hang around for. It's cold, it's crappy, it's wet. Perfect for motocross and that sort of thing because it gets the soil nice and damp. But as far as working in it, and I was be living in the UK, the winters in this region, it's shit. So yeah, I prefer to head to the northern part of Australia. Yeah, she's a bit warm and tropical, but I love that. I can enjoy a cold beer at the end of the day. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, just another short video, just touching base with you. Welcome to all the guys that have come on board, and hopefully, just if there's any questions you've got, or where I'm just sort of feeling my way. This is something that I've started doing recently with filming myself. I've got a microphone hooked up now. I've got a tripod I bought in Thailand. The other one bloody broken on the way down southwest last week. So I'm using my old original one, but it's something I've enjoyed doing. It's something new. It's like a way of me connecting with my followers. I did recently, try a few weeks worth of ride with mates group rides, and I enjoyed that. But personally, I prefer riding solo. I do love meeting people and talking to people, but because I've got thousands of followers now, I thought it was a good opportunity to start recording myself and just talking about all the experience I've had, not just with my adventures, but I've also started doing videos on my very first bike, the setup on my KTM 1290, and just as I start to do these videos, it triggers memories of other experiences, whether it's road racing or motocross or something, that's river crossing that I just remembered another river crossing I did years ago because the tide were coming in. I kept on exploring around the Gulf of Onslow, and yeah, I got caught. The tide was coming in. It was a big crossing, and I'm going to make a video just for that whole particular adventure ride because it was freaking epic. And I think part of what I do now is in my DNA without realising it. Since I've been doing these 4 big epic rides the last 4 years, as I'm doing these live videos and talking about prior adventure rides that I've done, I've realised that I've done this most of my life. I've been a risk taker, but I've also managed to get myself out of some pretty gnarly situations. I've drowned the bike on really deep crossings, had to pull the car apart, get the bike back running. This is way before we had mobile phones, bloody the little Garmin InReach mini that I carry with me now. I didn't have any of that sort of stuff, so if I didn't get that bike run, who knows, I might not be doing this video. But I live for that shit. I love it. It's part of who I am. Stevo Djanda. I'm a free spirit moto world adventure rider. I call myself that because as I've been exploring Australia all my life, I'm about to start exploring the world. And I look forward to sharing it with you guys because I'm really excited about it. It's something that I didn't think I'd be ever doing because I was just so content riding throughout back Australia, and I still love Australia that much. But having done a little trip to Thailand earlier this year, I've had a taste for it, and it really excites me. All of the world excites me. Experiencing the loving nature and the people in Thailand was just absolutely awesome. I love the food, I love the people, and there's many other parts of the world that people are very friendly. There's a lot of dangers I know as well that I'm fully aware of, and I have to educate myself as I go. But that's all part of the adventure, all part of the journey, and it's something that excites me. It's the unknown. It's got all the ingredients of making an epic adventure ride, and I'm going to have to be pretty disciplined to do a lot of the riding overseas because I think riding in Australia has been wild and crazy. Throwing a lot of risks at me that I've managed to get through, but I think the risks overseas are far more than I ever imagined. All sorts of stuff going down in a world that's changing as we speak all the time. So I look forward to sharing that with you, and I'm trying to keep it simple, but just straight to the point so it can be enjoyable to listen to. So this video, like most of them, I try and keep it short because one of my followers said to me, maybe just not so long, Stevo. So I think it was Peter that suggested that. I always remember that in the early days. It is still early days now, and I'll keep the videos between 5 to 15 minutes max. This one's around about 16 now, so I'm over that 15-minute bracket. But look forward to sharing some good content with you, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. Give me your feedback. I always appreciate it, whether it's good or bad. I take it on the chin. I don't mind. I'll take the box any day. Talk to you soon. Cheers, Stevo Djanda.